Hey guys, have you ever wondered how you can get this hair-like effect on your embroidery? Well, it's actually pretty easy, and in today's episode, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it yourself. So before we jump in, I just want to remind you guys that if you have any questions at all throughout the video, to leave a comment below and we'll get back to you with an answer. And I also wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed so far. If you're new here, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click subscribe, and don't forget to click on the little bell icon because that's going to notify you every time we make another post. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what this hair-like effect is. This is called fringe embroidery, and there are actually two ways that you can do it. One way is looping, like you see here, and another way is with just like kind of like a hair effect. So I'm going to show you both ways that you can do both effects. All right, so let's cover what we're using for this project. Now, there are many different materials and methods that you can use to achieve this fringe-like effect, but these are the most common materials that you probably already have in your embroidery stash. So I'm going to show you a way of doing it with this, and I'll also tell you some other materials that you can use if you do find it easier. So let's start off with stabilizer. I'm using 2 sheets of cutaway. It really doesn't matter what stabilizer you use whatever stabilizer you wish to use and whatever works best with your garment. I'm using 2 sheets of cutaway. You can also use 2 sheets of tearaway, or you can use even 2 sheets of a heavyweight water-soluble stabilizer. Next, I have my water-soluble topping. This is the same as my stabilizer, don't get confused, it's just the use of it may change. For this, I'm going to use it so that I can cover it when the embroidery is stitching the fringe area. And I'll explain to you why you need this later on in the process. And then I have here my snips, and you're going to need these to create the fringe effect. You can also use tweezers. Tweezers will help if you're doing more of the looping, but you can also achieve it with the snips. So these are the materials we're going to be using for this project. Now I'm just going to go ahead and hoop this regularly and pop it in the machine, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I have hooped my garment and I have inserted it into my machine, and now I'm going to go ahead and embroider as usual. Remember that we're going to keep the piece of topping, and I'm going to place that topping right before it does the flowers, because that's going to be the area with the fringe. Now, I did want to explain that you do need a design that has longer satin stitches. That's what's going to help you create the fringe. So instead of having instead of having a split satin stitch, you're going to want a design that has a jump stitch, and you're going to see exactly why once we start stitching it out. So I'm going to go ahead and press start, and then I'm going to grab my solvy and I'm going to place it on top. But for now, let's just go ahead and press start. Alright, so I finished embroidering the regular stitches. Now I'm just going to take my sheet of aqua top or solvy, whatever topping you use, and you're just going to go ahead and place it above the area that is going to be embroidered with the fringe. So that's going to be your very long satin stitches. Now, for fringe embroidering, what you're going to do is after your machine embroiders it as usual, you're going to turn it over and do some cutting of the threads. And I'll explain how to do it once we're done. But this sheet of aqua top or solvy, water-soluble stabilizer that you're using on top is going to help to not damage the rest of the stitches that are not going to be fringe when you go ahead and cut it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and press start to finish the rest of my design. Alright, so here I have my finished product laid out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tear away the aqua top topping. And before I show you guys how to cut, I did want to tell you guys that there is another way that you can do this. You can actually use water-soluble bobbin thread, and that's going to, once you soak it in the water, the stitches will like unravel from the bobbin basically, and you will be able to pull them up and get that looping fringe effect. But if you don't have that water-soluble bobbin, you can still do it by cutting. So I'm going to show you how you can do this. So we're going to flip over our garment, And to get the looping effect like you see here, we're just gonna cut through the middle of the bobbin. And then I'm gonna show you how to get a hair-like effect, which I don't have an image of right now, but basically it would just be, imagine if you cut a loop like that, it would just be 2 threads, like if they were kind of like hair. So here I have my snips, and I'm just going to carefully cut my bobbin thread along the center. And then when I turn it over, you're going to be able to see that the top thread will pull out. Forming little loops. So now I'm just going to go all around and carefully cut my bobbin. So as you can see, now that I've cut the bobbin down the center, you're going to see how the top thread raises up because it's no longer attached to the bobbin. So now I'm just going to flip it over. And now I can just slide my snips. Be careful when you're doing that, but just slide it under and carefully pull the top thread up. Just make sure that you're pulling carefully, and any excess little thread you can kind of just cut out. You can also use another object like tweezers would work really well. If you are using your snips, just be careful, use the dull side so that you don't cut any of the thread. As you can see the layer of solvay right under the water-soluble topping. That's what's helping protect the stitches down here from getting pulled as well. So that is why you need that layer of water-soluble topping right over the area where you're gonna pull. All right, so I have finished one side, and I do want to remind you guys that if you do embroider something with this effect, that you want to embroider out on garments that you're not going to wear and wash frequently. So like decorative towels, table runners, that's what it's really good for. I wouldn't recommend it for perhaps like a t-shirt that you're going to wear and wash frequently, because it will like fringe up a lot. So next, I'm going to show you how it will look with the hair effect. So this is the fringe effect. This is also called fringe embroidery, but this is more of like a hair effect, which would not really work as well for flowers, but I'm going to show you anyway, just so that you can know. If you do embroider, for instance, like an animal, and you want to get a hair like fuzzy effect, then you're going to do it this way instead. So I flipped over the same design, and I'm just going to cut along the top thread instead of cutting the bobbin thread. So I can understand how this could be a little scary for some of you, but I can assure you that it will work. All right, so as you can see, the top thread is detached from the bobbin. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull. Alright, so as you can see, here is the fringe one with the loose ends, and I did this one by cutting the top thread on the back of the embroidery and then pulling it in the front the same way as I pulled this one. And then here is the looped one that I did this one by cutting the bobbin thread on the back of the embroidery and then just pulling it up the front. So which one do you guys like better? Let me know in the comments. I kind of like both of them now. Like, I started off liking this one, but now I think I like this one too, so I can't decide what to do this flower. Or maybe I should just leave it like that. No, I'm not gonna leave it like that. I'll probably do this one because it's like, pops out more. All right, well, let me know what you guys think. All right, so here it is. this is the finished product, and what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty cool, and it's actually very easy to do. Remember, you just need a design that has a long enough satin stitch, so you don't use your auto split option on your digitizing software. You can also just Google Fringe embroidery designs, and you'll probably find a few. So again, this is really good to like make texture on any of your embroidery designs. It's great for flowers, great for animals, decorative towels, anything that you're not gonna wash and wear frequently, kind of more like decorative embroidery, then this is an awesome option. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button below and to subscribe to our channel. And I also want to take the time to invite you guys to our Facebook community, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery, where you can go ahead and chat with me and thousands of other embroiderers. Go in there and share your advice or ask any questions you have. So I have included the link to the group in the description below. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the group. Don't forget to join.